Welcome to another edition of XFeed. My name is Adash Schiller. Let's talk about NFTs on the global stage, and we're going to connect two different stories. If you haven't seen, the NBA has inked a $4.3 billion deal with Amazon and NBC. Well, who owns NBA.root? Oh, yeah. This guy. Kind of crazy to think about how much money is pumped into sports. Obviously, we're seeing a ton of ads for gambling, yada, 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 yada. But just moving forward, remember when we had kind of a wave around NBA Top Shot when it was the most used platform? It was a huge onboarding tool. And then there was a whole bunch of other various sports from UFC Strike to NFL All Day. And it grew and grew. And everybody was super hyped up about sports NFTs. Soul Rare has also come around, but it's felt kind of quiet on the sporting front. NFL Rivals as well. Haven't seen that one on the timeline as much, but just generally kind of crazy. Amazon $1.8 billion a year and NBC $2.5 billion. Now, somebody highlighted here, Barry, Steph Curry's actually got the BAYC. I don't know if we call it slogan, acronym. I went to go check on his profile, and in fact, it is there. So he's representing on the main stage. Cool to see. Now, yesterday we did highlight Mintage, and I didn't get a good photo of kind of saying, hey, yo, I don't know if these are star signs, if these are like Pokemon unknowns, but that's a little bit of a different look at that jacket. Kind of like it, to be honest. Yeah, this market is not rallying after any good news and positive sentiments. Okay. Checking this right quick. There was an individual that said, don't use CoinMarketCap. I apologize, I forget the name, but I remember the comment. We're going to go check here right quick. But the market's still 40 here in Fear Mintage. Yo, Dari, what's going on, brother? But I mean, overall for the market, it does feel kind of not that great. Mantra moving a lot. Near Filecoin. A couple of the ones that are up just a little bit here. There was a huge movement on Prime yesterday as well. It was up about like 10%, still going up as of today, but kind of crazy to see some action on that front, as generally it's felt kind of quiet for different tokens related to Web3 games, et cetera, et cetera. I've also heard that Bloodloop has been doing pretty well, and it was one of the ones that are like KOL seed round investors. It was one of the ones that did the best with that. It's weird how we keep having all these different narratives with things. Now, Chimpers and U2s, not to be confused with Yu-Gi-Oh, where they had like those Toon Worlds, and you get the idea. Anywho, kind of cool to see this. The the Cool Man's Universe was also partnered with U2s. So this is something that we've seen a couple of Web3 brands actually use. Very interesting to see Chimpers use the same, and a lot of collections, including VFriends, et cetera, have gone the route of adding plushies of some sort or stuffed animals. Congrats to the new owner of this doodle. So I got a question for you, ladies and gentlemen. Would you rather have 5.52 Ethereum or the shark outfit doodle? Take your time, and no rush, 5.52 ETH or this shark doodle. It's funny because when you stop and think about things, you really have to have a certain mindset where somebody believes, well, first of all, maybe this is the metaverse identity, and if Doodles does become this massive thing, there's only, like 10 other people that have this sort of costume that's a part of it. Or just thinking, hey, the brand is going to be so successful and the NFTs are going to be so sought after over time that it's going to be worth buying. Now, some people, again, have a whole bunch of money and they do not care. 5.52 ETH is jump change for them. But interesting the perspective. Doodles did just jump like 70% this week. Yeah, Doodles have moved. I think they were at like 1.7 or something along there, and now they are at 1.95. I thought they touched over 2 as well. Looking at the chart, sorry, I'm gonna have to kind of do that, but you can see, boom, what an absolute massive movement down from a low price of about 1.32 Ethereum. Crazy. Oh, Captain, my Captain. I had some thoughts yesterday about the aspect of how many collections out there truly have a mascot or have built IP around a main character. Well, for cool cats, there's Blue the Cat. For Bored Ape Yacht Club, there's Curtis the Ape. for Doodles. There's the Rainbow Doodle, and if you forgot way back when, Doodles paid a community member 100 ETH for their mascot, Doodle number 316. Azuki manipulated the Elemental's metadata so the 4 main characters were revealed by the team. Says a lot how the respective companies view their relationship with holders. Now, this last part, I don't even remember that was a thing, but apparently the team wallet did reveal 4 of the Elementals Azukis that were like the main characters or something for that. So again, there was a lot of weird things that happened within the space back in the day. Most people are kind of like, whatever happened at this point. But it's interesting just looking at what brands that are Web3 related have actually built some sort of mascot or character around their IP on a little bit of a bigger scale. Now, looking at some other doodles, this was a sale for 31 ETH, $100,000 back in January of 2022. So there's a little bit of a double one. Again, back to the same topic of thinking that the Doodles brand is going to do really well and the reasoning for it. And then one of the cat crowns sold for 100 ETH, which was, does it say how much US dollars was? No, but this was back on January 2022 as well. So huge amount of FOMO. Haven't seen anything to the likes of those heights recently, but still cool to look back and say, damn, these things were going for a bag. Now, highlighting again the Forgotten Rooneyverse trailers. I don't think we played them yesterday, so we'll let this just run in the background. But again, they had an announcement that they were moving over to Ronin. And my personal take was, okay, let's see, because Forgotten Runes was a collection that was building out a game. They were on Ethereum. You could argue they're a part of these kind of like blue chip Ethereum projects. And the question was always, okay, how are they going to end up getting players for their game? How is the brand going to supersede just their community? Jumping over to Ronin, which is a huge chain. Kind of cool to see with that. And again, the price of them did go kind of crazy with that. And this is their actual trailer. So again, anybody, if you've seen the Valhalla trailer, the Futureverse trailer, Other Side with Bored Ape Yacht Club, think about the quality behind this trailer. Do you like it? Do you not? And we got Bowen coming through on the 9 months with the primer. Holy sweet suffering. Succotash. What's going on, brother? How you doing? I'm not going to play any music because I've gotten DMCA'd a whole bunch of times, even though that I don't throw ads on like half the videos now, because why would I do that? But again, just visually, I think it's super impressive. And speaking of like those avatars or the mascot for the collection, cool to see that the Wizards, of course, are using the wizard hat as that going into the portal, but very cool. We'll see what the growth of all of that is. The man from the classic Everest College commercial says he never went to college. Do you guys remember this? Watching TV and this guy's like, yeah, I go to Everest College. Unbelievable. The world is lying to you all the time. Unbelievable. Mochaverse here talking about staking power. We saw their coin come out, went over like 100 million. Fully diluted. Looking pretty all right. Charts going straight up. Holders who stake Mocha will earn staking power, unlocking exclusive access and benefits within the Mocha network, including access to Mocha list tokens, staking pool rewards from a 10 plus confirmed list of committed partners, and more high quality Mocha network partners being curated in the meantime. So before I continue reading, I'm going to keep going over this narrative in my head that I'm like, how the hell are all these different chains going to attract builders? Is it all through these different partnerships? Are we just going to see who's like the fittest to survive? There just seems to be so much capital, so many different people trying to do different things, and Mochaverse, again, is a huge player within that. Mocha NFT can be used to boost staking power generation rate in V1, and the locked tokens from Claim Extra will be automatically staked. The first 14-day boost applies. Mocana brings growth to partners. Mocha token holders share the success of the partners, carrying the tokens to participate in the partner ecosystem. Each staking decision occurs reputation to the holder, which might impact future rewards distribution based on the upcoming reputation scoring system. So again, another NFT digital asset that is having some kind of loyalty rewards program attached to it. This is only V1. More features is coming soon as we build out the V2. Value-based staking with NFT, reputation and proof of engagement, playing an even bigger role. Again, in Futureverse, we have an engagement score, so we're seeing all of these like bigger collections integrate these further systems and royalties. A much watch. Let's go check out the first behind-the-scenes episode of Azuki. We're only going to watch about 2 minutes of it.
The original vision for Azuki is to create an open anime universe. And what I mean by that is the power of Web3 is in the community. And the power in the community is in co-creation. How can we as a team create an IP that can inspire all the community members to co-create alongside the team? And for us, being an IP that started as NFTs with 10,000 characters and turning that into an anime, it's never really been done before. So our goal is to do this in the authentic Japanese anime way, using very legendary talent, and for us to collaborate on this project and create a story and a product that is really high quality. The goal is to get this cast together and start the beginnings of the Azuki story.
どうしてと、どうして私たちのところに来たのというのがやっぱり一番強かったですね。やっぱりあずきプロジェクトって具体的な明確なこれだっていうストーリーがあるわけでもないし、それをアニメにするというのはじゃあ具体的にどういうことが
Now, it's interesting when you're watching this because they have all these different screens. You're getting to see some of the behind the scenes. And I think for most of the collections, we don't really get to see that behind the scenes aspect, the breakdown of everything. Some collections absolutely do that, but being able to see kind of like the offices and whatnot, it's cool to see kind of like that transparency. You can see here, everybody's kind of around the computer going over scripts, yada, yada, yada. Just, I don't know. I think it's really neat. And so if you guys want to check that out, again, that's just on the official Azuki handle. One of my most prized possessions is this funky masterpiece, and it is a Pop Wonder. If you guys haven't seen Pop Wonder, this is one of the big name artists from back in the day. I feel like Pop Wonder had some different pieces that were going for a decent amount and always had a cool style to that. So if you've not been introduced to a new artist, well, there is Pop Wonder. All right, looking at the valuations of NFTs, guys, we need to stop using our magic internet money and look at what we officially call the dollars, because this is insane. So, Forgotten Runes Wizard Cult, which we just looked at, they're $2,066. Doodles, upwards of $6,500. Cool Cats, just under $1,000. Bored Ape Yacht Club, $31,000. Cyberkongs, this one's only out of 1,000, so kind of caveat, but $18,757 American dollars. Fluff World, 733, which is the lowest on this list. Mochaverse, 7,693,000. Azuki, which we just looked at as well, $13,229, and then Pixelmon at $1,500. Insane to look when people are saying NFTs are dead, all this other stuff. Guys, look at the amount of money that people are pouring into this. And the further question to that, and this is for anybody that's feeling like you want to go down a rabbit hole, what is kind of the yield on this? Is there any yields on these? Do people buying certain ones just for the sake of it? I mean, obviously for Bored Ape, there is staking that's associated with it, and we can go down, but very interesting if we were to compare and contrast all these different ones. But damn, when you're taking away the magic internet money, oh, baby. Yatsu, he just published an update regarding Mocha Network, the Mocha token, yada, yada. We're not going to go through it all, but we're going to go through the final component of this letter that he wrote saying investments and the Mochaverse. One of the most critical measures to value any network's potential is the level of investment it has received, which indicates or even determines the potential of the network. This is similar to investment in infrastructure development in a nation. The more investment, the greater the potential. Animoca Brands is one of the Web3's industry's biggest innovators with over 450 portfolio companies and a balance sheet measured in billions of dollars. We will continue to invest to grow our network and its relative network effects, both economic and culture, which in turn will provide the framework to expand the Mocha network. The interoperable economy of partner subnets and users connected to Mochaverse. At the same time, we will use the Omnichain token Mocha Coin, the utility and governance token that powers the Mocha network, to expand Animoca's network and boost our growth. So what exactly is Mochaverse? It's an interoperable infrastructure stack created to enhance network effects and bring together various cultural economies for maximum mutual benefit. It integrates diverse sectors including gaming, music, sports, anime, NFTs, and digital identifiers did, and many more into a cohesive ecosystem where the success of one segment translates into benefits for the broader ecosystem. Mochaverse is building Mocha ID, an omni-chain identity reputation layer that will bridge network effects across ecosystems, and since Animoca Brands is already one of the biggest investors in Web3, help to drive the growth of the entire Web3 industry. Kind of interesting with that comment because it does feel like there's much more of a, hey, if one person wins, everybody wins, and it feels a little bit less PvP as of late, at least from like the founders' point of view. Mochaverse and Mocha Coin represent cultural capital that today may appear objectified, like most NFTs, but will become more social and symbolic in meaning and purpose as Mochaverse's reputation layer grows and increasingly rewards and incentivizes the creation of culture capital. This begins through a proof of loyalty mechanism and accessing how much value users contribute to the network. So again, a little bit of a breakdown. There's an entire article. You can spend several minutes reading through all of it. It's kind of interesting, but sounds like they're trying to cook. Now, Sammy.Mocha here having an interesting breakdown for Animoca Brands, saying the reported $2.7 billion in assets from its most recent audited financial statement. Audited financial statement are required to the lead up to an IPO. The Mocha token is landed, expressed as the Animoca ETF. Could this become the first public crypto venture with a token? That's a little bit interesting. Again, the cultural impact, the amount of money they have behind it, Animoca Brands is going to be a force. Gutter Cat Gang with a random announcement here. Haven't heard anything from them in a little bit, but the Gutter is more than just a brand. It is a movement. We are dedicated to empowering Gutter creators across all disciplines to deliver world-class art and innovation. So they have like an image here. I think it looks cool. It's awkward because from the earlier days, there's a lot of us that would say, damn, you know what? Way back in the day, really thought Gutter Cat Gang was cool, but there's so many different pivots, changes of hands, the people that are at the top of the leadership that individuals have fallen in love with, that changing it. You know, it's awkward. I think that there's still a lot of people that are rocking with the Gutter, but it's at a rocky road, and we'll see what comes of this, but excited that they are still doing something. Sykes saying, after a recent review, I noted that the Dead Fellas deployer has spent over $90,000 US on ETH gas. So glad we're all adopting new methods. Talked about this before. There has been so many collections that were totally killed from going on Ethereum. The narratives around it, obviously there was, you know, a ton of capital flowing around with very few things to spend it on when people were eager to do as such. And as the technology, other options are coming around. We'll see, you know, some positive happenings for a lot of these collections, I believe. Zoomer, SEC drops investigation into Paxos, decides BUSD is not a security. So OXNGMI says they shut down the third biggest stablecoin at 23 billion and later said, never mind, it's good. This is the problem with the crypto industry right now. A lot of stuff that's kind of iffy or not, you know, loved per se or under scrutiny. They can flip the script at any point. This is crazy because I thought about this before. And I remember seeing all these different ads and things. And I was like, and this was like a while ago, right? You go to like a convenience store and they have all those like quit smoking, yada, yada, yada. And I was like, once we got in the blockchain space, like, man, if there was a way that you could like tokenize quitting smoking, that would probably be like a huge thing, right? Because it's just a massive market. So Vape to Earn by Puffpaw, one of the more interesting consumer dApps this year to build, using tokens to incentivize users to quit smoking and reduce vaping over time with green tea extract. Rewards are verifiable on chain where each pod is a token miner. Deepin x Socialfi x DeFi. And this is, I guess, what it looks like. I don't know if this is on Barachain exactly, but first time seeing this, I think it's really cool and just kind of highlights some of the cool innovations coming from the blockchain space. So the Ethereum Community Conference, this happened. Vitalik was there. I think that's Gavin Wood as well. Interesting to see another Web3 event. Saw a couple different takes on the timeline. Let's go over one of them. Not at ETHCC. Here's my best interpretation of the event 2.5 days in. Everyone's obsessing with improving the UX. Feels like we've come to a consensus that we don't need more infrastructure, we just need usable apps. Shout out Base, Coinbase, and Coinbase Wallet for leading the way here. Sentiment is pretty bearish. Most people expect further downside from here, and bull market price predictions are unexpectedly pessimistic. Most people I've talked to don't care about prices. Most didn't even want to share a prediction because they simply don't care. Only got to make them care. Brussels wasn't as rainy and wet as crypto Twitter shows. Food was trash out here though, but the beer made up for it. There are more women in crypto than I expected, which is refreshing to see. Everyone's building. The grind is unreal. The ideas are awesome, but most importantly, everyone's freaking building something. Side events have been amazing. The Pudgy Penguin Party stood out the most so far. The diversity is insane. Not only are there more women now, but you meet people from literally all over the world. Most crypto founders are amazingly talented, but seriously lack public speaking skills. Now, just on a complete side note on this, if you are a public speaker for any collection out there, please to God, get a good mic. It's insane. Listen back to the spaces. I realize, like on my phone, if I don't take my case off, I actually sound kind of weird. If I'm using my phone, but I also realized, hey, I can use my computer, and that's what we did on the last radio. But yeah, I mean, listen, nothing to do with public speaking per se on the skills front, but you sound way better when you can be heard clearly and you're not on a laptop mic from wherever the hell you have your laptop. It's still super easy to meet the founders of the biggest brands in crypto. For example, Jurlair was casually speaking to people at the booth. He's the CEO of Circle, a company that's about to go public. That's nuts, and I doubt that'll be the case a few years from now. 10 out of 10 organization wise. Hell yeah. So there's your update on the conference. Guys, do you remember fast food restaurants and how they used to look? I saw this post. This is what Taco Bell used to look like. Do you remember Pizza Hut, the buffet way back in the day? They actually had the buildings with the hut and I don't remember what these lights are called or lamps, the design on them. But Wendy's, they had the sunroom out front. I remember these, the old tables. Burger King. It's insane to go down this Subway and its yellow booths. KFC, weirdly enough, definitely had that kind of like bland branding, but this makes me think of getting like the Twister sandwich. McDonald's from back in the day, I feel like I don't remember the counters ever being like that, so maybe that was before my time. Chick-fil-A, that's more of an American thing, so never had that. It's just, down memory lane. Gotta love it. So Mochaverse, we've highlighted some positives about it, but again, as we've seen, the token is out and the NFTs go bye-bye. Down 63% on the 7-day, 58% on the 1-day change. And whenever you attach an NFT to a token, be prepared for the fallout afterwards. New, SoRare announces $15 million in cash prizes with millions in card rewards for upcoming 2024-2025 football season. Seeing a lot of big names out there within the Web3 space having mass amounts of prizes. Typically, we've seen it just being in the token itself of whatever native collection it is, but this time 15 million in cash. Very interesting to see from SoRare. But that's going to be it for this edition of XFeed. Thank you so much for coming on through with Atari God. Thank you. And everyone here watching on the VOD, you are a legend. If you want to like the video, I'd appreciate it. And of course,